All right, let's dive right into this explainer and uncover the incredible, completely hidden engineering it takes to keep a massive commercial reef tank thriving. We've all walked into a gorgeous office lobby or a high-end restaurant and just been totally captivated by a glowing underwater ecosystem, right? It creates this incredibly calm, memorable environment. But making that magic actually happen takes a whole lot more than just filling a big glass box with salt water. We're talking about managing thousands of pounds of water and delicate marine life right smack in the middle of human chaos.
Imagine having dinner right next to a pristine coral reef. It's a breathtaking architectural feature. But today we're exploring exactly what operates silently behind the drywall to make that stunning display possible. Because listen, when you place a piece of the ocean in the middle of heavy foot traffic, you introduce a massive set of constraints. Building access, power capacity, strict water chemistry targets, and noise tolerance. All of it has to be perfectly balanced.
Now, there is a stark contrast between a forgiving home aquarium and a commercial beast. A home setup gives you a little grace, you know? If you spill a little water or leave a pump out for an hour, it's fine. But a public-facing commercial tank, it has relentless demands. It absolutely must survive weekends, holidays, and peak business traffic with unbreakable reliability. The safety planning and the maintenance approach just have to be entirely bulletproof.
Because without the right engineering for things like drainage, heat, and plumbing, that beautiful tank is going to quickly turn into a massive operational nightmare. A tank might look absolutely stunning on day one, sure, but if the plumbing routing or the viewing angles weren't engineered for everyday operations, it stops being a visual asset and becomes a highly expensive, water-leaking liability for the business.
Okay, Section 1. Concept meets venue design. You really have to match the footprint and the glass thickness to the expected foot traffic. And honestly, perhaps most importantly, you have to consider how long people will actually be looking at it. Not every commercial space needs the exact same format. If you've got a busy hallway or a lobby, a smaller, minimalist gallery tank is perfect for quick viewing. But if you're in a restaurant or a hotel where guests are going to sit and linger for hours, you want a large, immersive viewing wall. It's all about matching the equipment sizing to the occupancy. Designers also have to nail down early on what exactly is living in the tank. A delicate living coral display requires vastly different support than a hardier hybrid setup. Living coral means highly specific lighting, intense water flow, and pristine chemistry. It's a fragile, awe-inspiring ecosystem. But if a venue can't support that intense level of maintenance, they might make the pragmatic choice to go with a hardier reef ecosystem or a hybrid tank with easier care inhabitants. That way, they still get that beautiful aesthetic without the extreme fragility. Moving on to Section 2, Engineering, Safety, and Risk.
Managing risk here means stacking protective features, so the tank doesn't literally destroy the building's finishes. Remember, we are talking about hundreds or even thousands of gallons of salt water sitting right next to incredibly costly interiors. So you absolutely need tempered or laminated glass, heavily reinforced stands, and secure anchoring. Plus, a huge commercial tank can evaporate gallons of water a day. If you don't aggressively manage that humidity with deep HVAC integration, it basically acts like a massive humidifier that will literally rot the building from the inside out. No way around it.
And electrical safety? Absolutely paramount. It requires weatherproof enclosures for all the controls and a very strict separation between low-voltage systems and the general public. You have to use properly rated GFCI protection where applicable. Water and electricity are a notoriously dangerous mix, and in a commercial space, you literally cannot leave any margin for error. Now think about trying to enjoy a quiet, romantic dinner next to a loud, vibrating pump. Yeah, that's why noise control must be engineered from day one, never as an afterthought. Return pumps, protein skimmers, cooling fans, they generate a ton of hum and vibration. If they aren't isolated and totally silenced during the initial design phase, the tank ends up ruining the exact atmosphere it was built to enhance. Let's shift gears to Section 3, Frictionless Life Support Systems. To keep water chemistry totally stable, commercial systems lean on three main layers working together with highly predictable flow patterns. The goal is to completely eliminate any dead zones. Designers combine mechanical filtration to physically catch debris, robust biological media to naturally process waste, and protein skimming to literally pull dissolved organic waste right out of the water before it even has a chance to break down and rot. The whole shebang runs on a continuous, frictionless loop. In a public space, building in this kind of redundancy and automation is a game changer. It drastically reduces day-to-day fluctuations.
Think of this automation as an invisible, robotic caretaker. You certainly can't rely on an intern to manually top off evaporated water every single day in a busy office. So automatic top-offs, monitored salinity, and stable temperature controls handle all of that. Even the lighting utilizes reef-appropriate programmable LED systems that support coral growth while simultaneously limiting excess heat and glare for the nearby diners.
All right, Section 4. Designing the visitor experience.
Designing for the guest means ensuring crystal-clear sightlines without any distracting lighting glare, keeping that display truly wow-worthy for years down the line. If you're in an office, maybe it's meant to be a wellness-oriented visual break, which means viewing should be super comfortable right at desk height. For a restaurant, it's about how the tank placement complements the interior signage and the flow of the dining room. Throw in anti-fingerprint surfaces because, let's face it, we all kind of want to tap the glass, and safe viewing distances, and you create a totally flawless experience.
This means technicians must have hidden access routes and panels so they can swap filters and adjust reactors without ever disrupting the business or the guests. When coral transitions occur or a filter needs swapping, it's gotta be lightning fast. If a guest sees a technician hauling dripping buckets through a packed dining room, the illusion is completely broken. The best designs look impossibly clean, precisely because the maintenance pathways were baked into the architecture from day one.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5, Operations and Contingency Planning.
A lot of venues brilliantly utilize a hybrid approach, splitting the daily basics from the specialized, heavy-duty aquarium maintenance. Even the most highly automated system needs a human touch. So, in-house staff at the restaurant or the office will handle the simple, routine checks, managing the feeding, and doing basic visual checks on the corals. Then, specialized aquarium technicians come in on a strict service schedule to handle the heavy-duty troubleshooting and advanced water testing. It's a really perfect division of labor. And contingency planning for delays or power failures? Totally non-negotiable. Alerts must trigger action before a minor issue spirals into a massive disaster. Whether it's a pump malfunction, a staffing gap over the holidays, or even a simple salt mix delivery delay, there have to be predefined responses ready to go. Automated monitoring will catch a temperature or salinity spike and immediately trigger a corrective action plan to save the livestock.
A truly successful operational model must budget for these ongoing consumables and factor in hardware depreciation so the tank never ever falls into disrepair. You aren't just paying for the initial glass box, you're essentially paying a monthly subscription fee to Mother Nature. The budget has to include the ongoing test kits, replacement media, carbon, and those occasional livestock additions. Factoring in the depreciation of major components guarantees that when a massive pump eventually fails in 5 years, the funds are already sitting there to replace it instantly.
When you treat the engineering, the safety, and the maintenance as equal partners in the design, your reef tank transforms from a risky, seasonal experiment into an unforgettable, living brand asset. A commercial reef tank delivers tremendous aesthetic value, quietly supporting the exact experience your space was built to deliver. So I'll leave you with this one thought. If you were to drop a piece of the living ocean into your business tomorrow, would your infrastructure actually be ready to keep it alive?